Oh, hi there. Thanks for showing up for your learning. It's Mr. Jennings, your humble math servant. And I'm going to be taking you through a lot of the skills related to integers that you're going to need for success in high school math. Here's how to use this video. I'm going to show you problems. When I put the problem on the screen, either on my computer screen here or in Delta Math, you're going to pause the video. Try the problem yourself. Then unpause the video if you ever get stuck, or unpause the video if you want to check your answer, and then I'll continue with the problem. You can also you will want to have some paper and a pencil and your own Delta Math open so that you can try some problems in there, and also show me that you can demonstrate these skills. So if you can demonstrate these skills with integers here, you know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide them. You can work with double signs. You can work with order of operations, and you can even work with exponents. Cool. Then you're you've got what you need for integers. So let's go. All right, so the first type of problems that we're going to have is adding integers on a number line. So let's pop into Delta Math and we'll take a look at some examples there. So here we go. I'm going to get in here to my integer skills assignment and show you the skills. All right, let's go. So when we are adding integers on a number line, this is what this type of practice is going to look like. We have here 4 plus 3, and what they want us to do is start thinking visually about these numbers. So I'm going to take this, that's their 4. Okay, so that's adding 4 from 0, and then adding 3 from there is adding another 3. So then I just go ahead and put in my answer 7. Okay. So I hope you paused the video and tried that before we moved on. And then, of course, there's more challenging ones like this here. 7 plus negative 8. Well, what's that mean? Well, here I represent 7. That's 7 more than 0, so I go in that direction. And then I'm going to go minus 8, so I move 8, but in the opposite direction. Oh, wow, I ended up at minus 1. So I go ahead and put in the answer there, minus 1. Okay. This is how these are done. Pause the video before I start the question. For this next one, 7 plus minus 2. Pause and try. Visualize it on your number line, or even draw a number line, and then represent it. Oh, there it is, 5. See the motion as 7 minus 2. This is all addition and subtraction is movement on the number line. So I expect we can crush this skill. All right, we can get that skill. So what else is there? There is negative plus negative. Let's take a look at negative plus negative. Negative 3 plus negative 3. So if I start by negative 3 and then I add another negative 3, that would take me to negative 6. Okay, these types of things. This is what we want to be able to see. And it's also the type of metaphor that I am asking you to use. If you're ever stumped on one of these and I say it's an 8-degree day that gets 13 degrees colder, what's the temperature? Well, you would imagine 8 degrees that way positive and then 13 degrees that way negative, so it's minus 5. Okay, so then let's take a look at the next level of this one, level 2. So in this one, we have different ways that we can represent these because we can add and subtract in any order. The sign has to follow the numbers around though. So this is what this one would look like. 4 with a minus 5 with then an add 5. I could do it in that order, but they want us to do it in multiple orders, okay, to get this practice. So maybe I start with a minus 5, and then I add 5, and then I add 4. There. And I end up at the same place. See, I end up at 4 each way. Or maybe I start with a plus 5, plus 4, minus 5. All right? And then in all cases, I end up at the number 4. So that's how these ones are done. It's just practicing your flexibility of thinking about these operations in different orders is very useful. I do this all the time. And yeah, you can practice this skill here. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Next skill. Remember, I'm going to show you a problem, and then you're going to copy it down on your paper and try it. So, and then unpause the video and see my explanation. Okay, so here we want to first plot minus 2 and minus 10 on the number line below. So go ahead and do that. it will look like this. Minus 2 and minus 10. Okay, try. Yeah, it likes it, so it lets me go to the next stage. Find the distance between minus 2 and minus 10. Well, the distance is 8. There's 8 units in between. Try. Cool. Now we get to answer this statement. You want to think through these statements to build your understanding of subtraction of integers, particularly positive and negative numbers. Okay, minus 2 is greater than minus 10 because minus 2 is further to the right on the number line. As a result, minus 2 minus minus 10 is positive, and it's equal to 8. Cool. Submit the answer. Right on. Yes. Okay, so that's how those go. Distance on a number line. Let's take a look at, we have some more problem types. So let's see, negative, minus, and negative. Let's look at positive, minus, negative. Let's go. Okay, 3 and minus 5. Here is 3. Here is minus 5. Try it. Okay. What's the distance? Oh, it's 8 again. There's 8 units between those. You can count them here, and you can start visualizing these things. 3 is greater than minus 5 because 3 is further to the right on the number line. As a result, 3 minus minus 5 is positive. 3 minus minus 5 is 8. Yeah, so subtraction is like finding the difference between two numbers. That's all subtraction is. And if that difference goes across 0, it gets harder to visualize. But that's why visualizing both numbers and then finding the distance between them is very useful. It's one way that you can think about subtraction of integers. Okay, and then another thing that we've got here that we can take a look at. So we've got subtraction of an integers on a number line. We're also going to look at subtraction as adding the opposite. So try these questions and then unpause the video. Hear my example, okay? Hear my explanation. Here we go. If I have something like this, we've been asked to rewrite this without changing the digits, and we want to use addition to rewrite this. And this is the way this will work. Addition is, subtraction is just like adding the opposite, because addition and subtractions are just opposites of one another. So the opposite of minus 13 is plus 13. So this is equal to minus 5 plus 13. Subtraction is the same thing as adding the opposite. So I write it that way. This is a different way of understanding it. And then if I do minus 5 plus 13, I would go minus 5 in one direction and 13 in another and find that the answer is 8. This is what Delta Math is looking for you to provide. With this one here, this one's a little more awkward, but you can still do it, okay? And it's still a good practice, okay? Minus 7, minus 4. How can we write this as an addition? Well, we could say that this is equal to minus 7 add the opposite, which is minus 4. Okay, negative 7 plus minus 4, and that will be negative 11. So we want to get really instinctive with these things so that we don't have to think about them and visualize a number line every time, but thinking about it and visualizing the number line is excellent for building your understanding. Let's go ahead and do a couple examples inside Delta Math. Okay, subtraction is adding the opposite. We want to rewrite. So here I rewrite this as 16 plus 8. Yay! Okay, that's how those go. Then the next level, what does that look like? These ones are algebraic and they're kind of tricky. Okay, which one is the same? So we just want to go in and do multiple choice here. So I know it's going to be the same as adding the opposite. And oh, this one will do it. That one is the same. But they also change the order around. So these are a little bit more tricky. Still great to build your understanding and see if you can develop that ability to be very fluent with the way you move your operations around. Okay, so next we get to this topic here, adding positive and negative integers. This one is a timed practice, so you don't need to pause the video and try the problems as I do them. I'm going to explain how I do them and then show you how you can use paper to practice these as well if you want. I've given you lots of time so that you can practice them. Time to beat 100 seconds. Oh, geez, I need to change that. No, it says 300 seconds. So why is it saying 100 seconds when I come in here? That's so weird. Anyway, if it's only giving you 100 seconds, let me know, and we'll change that for you, because why? Why put that much time pressure on? Anyway, let's go. First, a drink of coffee. These ones are going to test how quickly you can do 10 plus negative 6. Well, that'd be negative 16. It's the same as negative 10 minus 16. 8 plus negative 10, that's negative 2. Negative 2 plus 10, that's 8. 4 plus negative 10, negative 6. All right, negative 4 plus negative 3, negative 7. Negative 8 plus 6, negative 2. Okay, so this is how I do them. All right, and this is how you can do them if you're not as fast or fluent as I am. Hoop-de-doop-de-doo, okay? This is what you can do. You go ahead and get yourself some paper out, all right? Put it next to you, someplace that's convenient to work. You get a pen, and you go like this. Minus 9 plus minus 2. Okay, rewrite this as equal to minus 9 minus 2. Okay, minus 9 minus 2. Then if I'm still struggling, maybe I visualize it. Here's 0. Here's minus 9 going down. And then I go a further 2 in the negative direction. Oh, that'd be minus 11. Okay, I got it. All right, minus 11. And I choose it. Okay, negative 10 plus negative 7. Okay, so that is going to be negative 10 plus negative 7. Don't use a calculator for this. Build your abilities and your brain meat. Okay, so then it's going to go negative 10 minus 7 because adding a negative is the same thing as subtraction. All right, and so then that will be negative 17. What's up with my time here? Oh, it's counting down from 100 seconds. No, it's going up. Weird. I don't know what's going on. I also don't care. All right, let's go. I think it's fine. I think it's set up okay. Minus 4 plus 2. Okay, but the 2 is in brackets. Okay, that's a fake bracket. That's a bracket that doesn't change nothing. All right, so 4 plus 2. That's the same thing as negative 4 plus 2. Okay? And another trick you can do with these is if like negative 4 plus 2 is tricky, you can do like 4 minus 2, but get the negative version of that. That's going to be negative 2. Okay? Or negative 4 plus 2. See it this way. Here's 0. Here's minus 4. Then I add 2. That's add 2. That's going to get me in between to minus 2. Okay, so it's minus 2. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Negative 3 plus negative 7, negative 10. Okay, done. Stop. So it is allowing you to go past 100. All right, so it is set up correctly. Great. Okay, let's go. All right, so that's that skill. All right, our next skill that we're going to check out here is multiplying and dividing integers. All right, this one here. So there's not a lot of practice on Delta Math of multiplying and dividing integers. So maybe you have a times table next to you that you can use to find the different multiplications. I would prefer that to practicing on a calculator because calculators are boring. Seriously, who's really entertained by calculators? I'm super entertained by math, but calculators are not like in my top 10 favorite things. Not even in my top 100. But you are. Okay, so let's go. Multiplying and dividing integers. So this is what this practice looks like. And again, you don't need to pause and try. You're going to try this yourself. All right. Again, you can have some blank paper out. You can go start. And you got minus 4 times minus 7. We want to be very good at these types of things where we have negative multiplied by another negative. That's a 7. Oh, that's the ugliest 7 that you ever did see. Okay, minus 4 times minus 7. Negative times a negative is a positive. And 4 times 7 is 28. So this is 28, but positive. There it is. Okay. Negative 4 divided by negative 2. Negative divided by a negative is also positive. I'm going to give you a trick to remember these in a second. And you can absolutely ask me in class. You can absolutely do these things with a quick lesson, no problem. So 4 over 2 is the thing that we got there. 4 over 2. And 4 over 2 is 2. It's, like saying we cut pizzas in half and you ate 4 slices. You ate 2 whole pizzas. Negative divided by a positive, on the other hand, negative 36 divided by 4 is going to be negative. And then I just do 36 divided by 4. Well, that's 9. Okay, that's 9. But it's negative, so negative 9. All right. And positive times a negative. Okay, cool. 5 times 7 is 35. But a positive times a negative is negative. Now, you'd think, wow, Mr. Jennings, he's got all these facts memorized. No, I don't. I just know this trick, okay? Count the negatives. This only works for multiplication and division problems, but it's a very useful. If you have an odd number of negatives, like 1 or 3 negatives or 5 negatives, dot, 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 in your problem, then your answer is negative, okay? If you have an even number, like 0 is even, 2 or 4, okay, dot, 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 then your answer will be positive. Super useful. Okay, I look at this. 5 times negative 9. 1 negative, so it's negative. And 5 times 9 is 45, so negative 45. 14 divided by negative 2. 1 negative, so that's odd. So answer negative. So negative 7. This is negative 18. This is positive 63. This is positive 15. This is positive 7. This is negative 20. This is negative 7. I'm allowed to make mistakes, and so are you. So be happy when you make mistakes. Super thrilled. All right. What was I in the middle of saying? Okay, so this is really the big thing here. This is very useful when we're thinking about multiplying and dividing integers that are positive and negative. You just count. And this can add up. Like you can have multiple of these things. Let's say we have a problem like this. Negative 3 multiplied by negative 5 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 11 divided by negative 11 multiplied by negative 7 multiplied by 5 multiplied by negative 3. Okay? Some of you are like, oh my gosh, that's so hard. But if I just told you that I made this problem up right now and that the answer is negative 1 and it's super easy if you just use some shortcuts, you might be interested in that because that can earn you marks and it can help you have fun in math class. And it can open up careers in math. So here's how it works. 3 divided by 3, that's 1. 5 divided by 5, that's 1. 7 divided by 7, that's 1. 11 divided by 11, that's also 1. So all of those are just ones. And those count the negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is odd, so my answer is negative. The answer is negative 1. Done. So easy. Okay, so those are those skills. Let's see, what else do we have next? All right, let's go. After that, we've got some whole number multiplication. So let's take a look at that. Whole number multiplication. So this one is just asking us to think about our numbers like areas. If I have 4 times 50, that would be 200. And then I can put a 2 up there. And what that does is now the top is equal to 52, like the length of this rectangle, and the width is equal to 4. So now I can find the area of that whole thing. Try that, and it likes it. And then I just add the areas of the different boxes, and that will give me the area of that whole thing, 208. So that's all we need to do for these. And then the more challenging one here will look like this. Okay, here we go. Enter the missing values in the area model to find 3 times 123. So we have 100 in the hundreds place. We have 20 in the 20s place. And we have 3 in the ones place. I visualize this on my mental whiteboard when I do multiplication in my head, and it allows me to do like 2-digit times 2-digit without needing a calculator and boring myself in math class. I get to do the fun work up there. So 3 times 100, 300. 3 times 20, 60. 3 times 3, 9. Visualize these things. This is 369. Done. That's that skill. All right. If it seems like I'm rushing, I do have a thing to do at 1 o'clock, so I want to finish this quickly. Anything that you have questions about, you can email me or you can talk to me in class. Absolutely. Okay. Last skill that we're going to look at is order of operations. These ones, you're going to want some paper. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy these things out and I'm going to work them out on paper. And then after you can do them on paper, try and do them in your head. This is like your level 4 skill. If you can get this, you're doing pretty good. -5 plus -10 squared. Well, first I have to do that squaring, means multiply negative 10 by itself. So that's negative 5 plus negative 10 multiplied by negative 10. Now I do this multiplication next because it's first. See, I squared it. Square means multiply by itself. See how I wrote that out as multiplication? Then I do that multiplication. Negative 10 times negative 10 is positive 100 because negative times a negative is two negatives. That's even, so positive. Negative 5 plus 100, 95. I visualize the number line and I get the number right. Bam! Okay, here we go. Let's do this one. 4 plus negative 63 over 9 times negative 2. So I have to do brackets first. There are none. Great. I have to do exponents next. There are none. Great. Then I have to do multiplication and division in any order. So let's do this division. That will be 4 plus, oh gosh, plus, that's a weird plus, negative 7. Okay, negative 63 divided by 9 is negative 7 times negative 2. I'm going to have to do this multiplication before I do this addition. Why did I wrote that addition down so weird? Okay, so that's equal to 4 plus negative 7 times negative 2, 14. This is equal to 18. See if you can develop the ability to do these in your head like this. This happens to be 9. This happens to be negative 25. This happens to be 36. This happens to be negative 17, no, 17 positive, no, 18 positive. Yeah, there we go. This is negative 20. Yeah, good. So I do these in my head very quickly because I've practiced. You can practice too and start doing these in your head very easily as well. Good luck, and I wish you all well. Bye for now, everybody.